absolutely a pleasure having you down here in South Africa. I think it's your first time to South Africa. Something differently, it's not on a farm, it's in-house. For us South Africans, it's like I mentioned, it's a pleasure, you know, rubbing shoulders with across-border guys like yourself. For sure, the king of corn. And we had a couple of farmers today that from South Africa on the eastern side of Joburg. They had a couple of discussions with you in terms of what do we need to do differently, what did you do differently from 10 years ago, and how did you get to being the king of corn, and what do we need to change in our society?
So first thing I want to say, thank you for having us. Anytime we get to meet with fellow farmers, it's a pleasure. So what we've learned, or what was neat to talk about, the questions they were asking, you know, was about, you know, moisture, corn, fertility, a little bit of fertility, not a whole lot, but, you know, like the planter we went through and talked a little bit about how much that has helped our farm, you know, with the precision, the high speed. You know, it's just great to see fellow farmers wanting to get better, to learn, you know, think outside the box, and that's what it's all about, you know, not just achieving high yields, but achieving yields that's your ROI is attainable. So it was awesome. We appreciate it.
And from a Case IH point, I know that you use a couple of Case IH machines in your farm. Is there any particular model that stands out for you that you can say, listen, it's a model that needs to stay on the farm, and I can't deviate from this model?
Well, I would say as long as it's red, I could say that. You know, I mean, you know, talk about when we had the 1250 planter. Yeah. You know, we thought it was the greatest thing in the world, and it was until you come out with a 2150. You know, the Steigers, you know, same thing. We thought they were the greatest tractors in the world. Then you come out with a new Steiger. So, I mean, you know, our farm's been 100% red, and without a doubt, the red equipment is what's a big key to our success. And, you know, we went to told you we bought an 8250 this year from an 8230, and just how efficient that the automation makes that machine. I mean, you know, everybody thinks they can set up a machine and run a machine, but until you run the automation, you find out you don't know nothing about the combine. So, you know, I can't pick one. You know, I got to say everything about the red lineup is top notch.
Oh, fantastic. And you also mentioned about the header, the 44, something differently than the previous one. And I think also just mention, you mentioned what type of moisture you guys are harvesting at, and South Africa, we're talking about 14%.
So we run the 4412 folding head. You know, we did have some issues with the previous models, without a doubt, but you know, that 44 series is 100% different than what they were. And, you know, and there's a reason that we are running that head, achieving our yields, because it's such a fantastic head now. And we're shelling corn 27, 28, 29% corn. And it takes a hell of a good head to be able to handle that kind of, you know, 40-some thousand population per acre. You know, that's like 100,000 on the hectares. You know, the head's got to be good. And we've said this is our 5th year with that head, and we've, knock on wood, we've had 0 issues with it.
Oh, fantastic. Last question maybe is, I know the queen of corn is not here. I don't know if she's got a little bit of jet lag.
I think she's got jet lag, yeah.
But she's quite involved in the farm.
Oh, yes, 100%.
Oh, fantastic.
Our farm, there's no doubt we could not have the success that we have without my wife, Shauna, and not just her, my kids. You know, we're down here for 2 weeks, and yes, they're going to school, but you know, they're still taking care of the livestock, the turkeys, and no questions asked. I think they were kind of happy for us to leave. You know, they could run around and do that, but you know, they got a list of stuff to do, and you know, I have no doubt in my mind they'll get it done. So yeah, I'm pretty blessed with a good family.
It's a strong team. Kevin, it's an absolute pleasure having you in South Africa, and we hopefully meet you down in your shores down there. And come pay a visit, and thank you so much.
Oh,
You're
thank
a true
you.
ambassador for Case IH.
Yes, thank you for us, and thank you to Case IH for having us.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you so
it.
much. Thanks.